11 o'clock, Queensland time, Sydney time equivalent, making money in the market with VectorVest. Hi everybody, my name's Russell Markham. I'm the Director of Education for VectorVest Australia. I think my camera's on now, so it's a pleasure to have you along today. Let's get into it. Before we get going today, just bear with me, I've just got to move up on my monitor up there, just the next one here. So please note our financial services numbers there. In addition, please note general, thank you yet. General advice only. All right, so I cannot take into account your personal financial circumstances. Please speak to a financial advisor for any personal advice. And as always, past performance is no guarantee of future results. With that said, let's close out of here. And I'm going to jump into VectorVest today. And if you're new to VectorVest and you're wondering what it's all about, we've got this wonderful bit of software, and you can click on the training tab when you first take out a trial of VectorVest. It's all here for you. So you can go through the introductory videos, some brilliant stuff there for you. Today, what I want to do is I want to concentrate on some of the best stocks, some of the best fundamental and technical stocks. Bear with me, I'm just going to move my control panel out here. And so I'm just putting the camera back on today. So how about this today? Let's go and find some of the best stocks money can buy on the ASX. Now again, I cannot advise you personally. Please speak to your financial advisor for any personal advice, but let's go and see what are the best combinations of both fundamentals and technicals. And what do I mean by that? Fundamentals, they're kind of like the building blocks of a company. So companies with strong balance sheets, financials, making more and more money every year on average, key building blocks, those are typically known as fundamentals. So we look at the best fundamentals and then we combine it with the best technicals. What do we mean by technicals? Technicals, we're all technical analysts, whether we believe it or not, because if I show you a graph, it's trending from smooth left to right going up, and I show you a graph where it's bouncing up and down all over the place, and I set you which one's got the smoothest profile going up, pattern recognition, you're going to pick the first one that's going up smooth left to right. So you've just done technical analysis. And so what we do at VectorVest here, of course, is we'll do it for you, do the analysis, combine it with the fundamentals to make it easy. All right, so with that said, let's transition here. And the way we're going to do it today is we're going to use this tool here in VectorVest called Viewers, Stock Viewer. All right, so Viewers, Stock Viewer in the VectorVest system. And this will find the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. Now, if I did this, I could show, let's say 50, and you've got total information overload, ton of information here. Let's keep it nice and easy. I'm just going to concentrate on the top 5 as of the 8th of July. All right. These are all buy rated. Doesn't mean you rush out and buy them. It just means it meets very strict criteria that gives it a ranking, a buy rating. Doesn't mean you necessarily go and buy it. You need to do a bit more work to confirm that it's per your liking. All right. So I click on the first one here. Let's not worry about anything other than just simply the price to begin with. If I show you the pattern here over the last year or two, how does that look? It's not too bad, right? What if I were to do this? So this is our master indicator, VST. The higher above 1, it's on a scale of 0 to 2. The higher above 1, the better the combination of fundamentals and technicals on average. So as of 8th of July, GNP, Genus Plus Group Limited, it's got the highest ranking for VST. It's got the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. I'll cover that shortly. And so we saw the graph for that one, right? So just a quick recap. Very nice, smooth left to right price pattern, right? The best left to right price pattern. If I flip it on its head and I look for the worst VST stock, all right, DTZ, and I graph this one here, all right, how does the price pattern look to you here, right? So it's the inverse, right? So we're going to begin our analysis by looking at the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. So this being the best combination of fundamentals and technicals. Okay, well, that's a good one. What about the other ones? Let's go. These are just the top 5, right? That one looks pretty good too. It's been shooting up quite a bit. Only in recent times, it's sort of started moving around about here over the last 9 months. I prefer the first one because it's been running for longer. It gives me more confidence. This is only a sort of a recent sort of development as such. All right, next one here, KCN, similar sort of story. It's only recently been running, but who's complaining over the last 7 months? Incredibly well. It has performed incredibly well. SKS holding steady, certainly been going up, but sort of consolidating. And next one here, ADT. It's not too bad. It's sort of consolidating and now starting to break to the upside. So, based on some of the best fundamentals and technicals money can buy right now, certainly the pick would be GNP from what we're seeing. I'll show you another little trick in VectorVest. So we look at the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. This indicator here, CI, Comfort Index. How comfortable are you in holding the stock? Stocks with a really high CI will have smooth left to right price patterns. So if I graph these ones here, Sigma Healthcare, very smooth left to right price pattern going up. Wow, look at that. Wagner's very smooth. Catapult, very smooth as well. But just because a company's got a very smooth left to right profile, it doesn't always mean it's got the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. All right, so coming back to our master indicator VST, let's sort it by VST again. And let's pick on the first one, the one that had the very impressive profile. So Genus Plus Group Limited. If I have a look here, it's got a price and a value. Now, this is a valuation that we attribute to the stock each and every day. Okay, so what I want to point out here is I don't want you to get overly hung up on the valuation. Suffice as to say, if you're more conservative, you'd prefer an undervalued stock. If you're more aggressive, then you're not as worried about whether price versus value, whether there's, you're paying a big premium or not. But as it turns out, Genus Plus Group, undervalued from our calculations. Developed Global, undervalued. So they're all undervalued, which is good. So if you're a conservative investor, more aggressive investors would be looking for price pattern movements. So these CI, the Comfort Index, are smooth upward trending stocks. But not all of these are necessarily going to be undervalued. All right, so Sigma Healthcare, although it's got a very nice upward trending pattern in recent times, here you can see it breaking up to the upside. It's racing along. But there is a premium being paid. All right, so there's a premium being paid, the price relative to the value, $2.99 versus $1.59. Now, I'm not saying you don't go and buy that. If you're conservative, you might say, well, hang on, I probably prefer to get Wagner's because $2.22 versus $2.98. All right, so I prefer this one here. It's still got a very nice price pattern, probably better actually than the first one, and it's undervalued. And so that's ideal if you're more of a conservative investor. Okay, so you have it all here at your fingertips each and every day. Let's go back to VST, our master indicator. So how do we get this top VST score? And so just to spell it out, VST, value, safety, and timing. Value and safety are the fundamental components, and T for technicals, it's the technical component. So let's look at them. Value, it's this indicator here, relative value. It's on a scale of 0 to 2. So it's looking at the long-term upside potential of a stock. It's on a scale of 0 to 2. The higher above 1, the better. Above 1.4 is excellent. So we can see for all these ones here, the long-term upside potential is excellent for all of these stocks. It's well above 1. And so if you ever get stuck in the definitions, just right-click on any given stock, view full stock analysis report, and from here, it's useful because now you can crank out the report and you can go through and you can read. And so coming here, relative value is an indicator of long-term price appreciation potential. Now in this example, GNP has an RV of 1.4858, which is an excellent on a scale of 0 to 2. This indicator is far superior to simple comparison of price and value. So remember, I said don't get too hung up over price and value, because it's computed from the analysis of projected price appreciation 3 years out, looks at corporate AAA rated bonds, rates, and risk. So it's all calculated in to look at the long-term outlook. Okay, so a very high score tells you it's got a very good long-term outlook. That's the first fundamental indicator. Relative safety. This looks at the consistency and reliability of company financials. Now, as it turns out, Adriatic Metals, its relative safety is below 1. So its fundamentals, financial safety, is not as strong as Genus Plus Group Limited, which is 1.27. Okay, so again, right-click, view full stock analysis report, bring the report over, and then you can scroll down. All right, RS is an indicator of risk. It's computed from the analysis of the consistency and predictability of a company's financial performance. It looks at debt to equity ratio, sales volume, business longevity, and price volatility and other such factors. All right, so what is its risk? How risky is that company? And so, again, if you want to go and do all the financial analysis, you can pull through all the income statements and financials, and you can read all the company announcements. VectorVest has done all that for you on a scale of 0 to 2. So now I've got my fundamentals, RV and RS. Good fundamentals on their own are not necessarily going to make you money. So I'll just put the camera on for more effect here. But you can go and buy a really good, solid company that's got excellent financials, right? Good long-term outlook, good management. Everything's good on paper. But you buy the stock and it doesn't make you any money. It just goes sideways or starts falling. And you scratch your head and you go, I don't understand. I bought a really good quality fundamental company. Best that money could buy. Why is it that the company's going down in price? Chances are, most certainly is, the fact that the technicals, the momentum of that company at the moment is slowing down. And companies will slow down for all sorts of reasons. It might be a big shareholder, a fund manager, hedge fund manager, whatever it might be. They might be diversifying their position a bit and they're wanting to get out of a few $100 million worth of that share. And so they're offloading it onto the market over the next couple of weeks, and it causes a bit of a slide in the share price. Or it might just simply be that investors are a little bit sort of waiting for the next big announcement, and so they're a bit sort of cautious at the moment and things don't really want to take off just yet. Why not get into a good quality, fundamental company that's moving up in price? And so what I'll do here is I'll move myself over. And so this is what we then do for you. We say, okay, we'll look at the fundamentals, but now let's overlay the technicals. This is very important because timing is everything. You know, you can still make money on lousy fundamental stocks, but if they're moving up in price, they're moving up in price. So what if we go and find those good quality companies where the momentum is moving in our favor? And so in this particular case, Genesis Plus, a 1.58 RV, very good upside potential, 1.27 score on a scale of 0 to 2 on relative safety, good financial safety on average. And then the technicals are whopping 1.8 out of a maximum of 2. Anything above 1.4 is excellent, so this is superb. Is really moving up from a technical perspective. And you can see it's been very smooth. Again, on a scale of 0 to 2, the comfort index, the higher above 1, the more smooth that company's been on average over a time period. And so you put it all together, it's undervalued, it's moving up in price. Here are the technicals, the relative timing score we looked at. Let's graph it. Here we are. So the technicals break above 1. They keep going above 1. It's undervalued. It's got really good upside potential. Relative value is rock solid, well above 1. Been above 1 for quite some time. Okay, so your fundamentals of the company are very, very strong. The upside potential. And let's add in relative safety. All right, the safety of that company, very, very strong too. So relative safety, incredibly strong as well. All right, well above 1. And so you put it all together, you've got good upside potential, you've got strong financial safety, and you've got momentum in your favor. This is how you make money. Fundamental and technical analysis combined. And then, as we were talking about just the other week, go and have a look at some of the previous Making Money in the Market sessions. We spoke about this all-important market timing. And so here, our most conservative timing signal as provided by our confirmed signal. We got a confirmed entry signal to consider going into the market for all stocks on the 1st of May 2025. If we went to simply bought the top fundamental and technical stocks, some of the best stocks money could buy, this being one of them, GNP. Look at that. Look how it's performed. Right, so let's just be fair, because GNP's popped up as of now. What about 1 May? What was 1 May doing? So let's go back to 1 May using the VectorVest methodology. All right, so here we are as of 1 May 2025 when we got that signal to go into the market. All right, so here's our timing for our market. Here it is. Here's the confirmed signal. 1 May, it lit up there before it told us to be careful. So there was the signal for the overall market. So this is how you use VectorVest. You check out the timing signal. Yep, 1 May. You go, okay, it's time to consider going to the market. You go to VectorVest stock viewer. You put it on 1 May to line up with the market timing. And you say to VectorVest, find me the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. And VectorVest, all right, here we go. As of 1 May, here it all is. Well, let's see. Grab those top 5. Now, 1 May to 8 July, look at 4, 1, 1, and a few of these have fallen away. Now, we're going to use risk and money management rules. So we're not just going to simply willy-nilly buy and hold and hope, but it's a good starting point from which we begin our analysis. Whoops. Let me do this. I want to test I'll show the top 10 here. All right. Okay, quick test. Let's do top 10. Give it a bit more diversification. There we are. So now you get a much better look. I wouldn't just simply buy 3 or 4 or 5. I'd probably want to spread it across. So there we go. So it's probably worth doing around about 10. Sometimes I've seen 5 do incredibly well too. So 1 or 2 of these absolutely rocketed away. 1 or 2 fell away. So we would have nipped the losers quickly, the falling stocks, dipped them in the bud pretty quickly and let the winners run. Okay. Now, that was just a basic view of top fundamentals and technicals. All right. So there was no risk or money management rules or anything like that. We just simply bought and held. All right. Once you get into the rules, so now you start this as your building blocks, but now you start developing rules. And eventually what you can do, so these are rule-based systems. So you can have, for example, a look at, say, this one here. It's all offered to you as part of a subscription, but this will pick up good quality fundamental and technical stocks and then use risk and money management rules to overlay it all. Okay, and look at those type of returns that take place. Okay, so I'm just showing you the basics as to how we go about and start developing these types of systems. You can see some of the stocks being held in there currently. All right, so this is the starting point. If you're going to go and look to buy shares in the share market, rule 1, make sure the market's going in your favor. Rule 2, begin your analysis by looking at the top fundamental and technical stocks. And then from there, start cherry picking out the ones that really stand out to you. And in VectorVest, and the next session I'll show you, we have this incredibly powerful tool called Unisearch. And Unisearch will rank, screen, and sort all of the top fundamental and technical stocks further to find you those top performers. So, I'll give you an example. 1 May, let's go and look at the fastest moving stocks, the comfort index. What if we were to, say, buy the fastest moving stocks as of 1 May when the market turned? Would this give us more of a surge? Yeah, it did. In this particular case, it gave us 8% on average. But not all these were top fundamental or technical stocks. Okay. What if we bought the quickest moving stocks as of 1 May? Here we go. Let's quick test the top 10. Here we go. And again, look at that, 8.56. So we had some pretty explosive stocks. What if we went and bought the safest stocks, the ones with the best financials, as of 1 May 2025? Let's grab the top 10. In this particular case, look at that. So the fundamental stocks were actually moving the fastest at that period in the market cycle. Look at that, beautiful. Only one of them was negative, and look at all those top returns across here. Okay, so you've got all this power. You've got all this power at your fingertips with VectorVest. You can come in each and every day, rank, screen, and sort for the type of stocks that you want. It's all there at your fingertips, and so we'll cover this in further detail at the next session, but we've got this Unisearch tool, and so it's just a matter of coming in and looking for what you are after. So if I'm a retiree investor, I would want to look at something like a premier growth stock search, where it's looking for growth. All right, so just giving an example of the type of analysis that we can do. But again, we'll cover that at a later session. The last thing I'll leave you with, so I've given you a very basic overview today. Get the market timing right, then go and find your top fundamental and technical stocks. And then from there, you can start your analysis. But what a lot of our subscribers do is they say, you know what, if I don't need to reinvent the wheel, there's no need. You know what, I like blue chip stocks. VectorVest has done all the work for me already. They've designed this trading system. Now, just be clear, we're not brokers, we're not fund managers. So you can log into here each and every day. Yep, this one looks pretty good. I can see how it's been performing. Yep, lift the lid, show me exactly what you're doing right now. All right, there it all is. And so our subscribers come in, they take a look at this and say, well, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I can see what's going on. I like the style of this. And away they go. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You depend on how you want to use the tool. But many of us subscribers just jump into here and say, right, yep, that's what I want to look at. For example, let's say I like REITs, real estate investment trusts. Interest rates coming down, although they didn't come down this week, but we're expecting them definitely by next month. We'll see whether the interest rates do get cut. But real estate investment trusts are certainly benefiting as we're changing from a cycle of rising interest rates to a cycle of decreasing interest rates. And you can see some of the REITs that are in there. So again, no need to reinvent the wheel. It's all done here for you. You have a look, you can lift the lid, see what's being held, and you decide, is that something that you are interested in? If that's the case, all the hard work's been done for you. It's just a matter of you logging in, taking a look. Is this what I want to have a look at? I like the fastest growing stocks trading system as well. It's a brilliant one. Look at the price pattern on that. Beautiful. It's almost like someone's drawn a perfect 45-degree angle. This one here, the VectorVest portfolio seeks out the hottest growth stocks in Australia. The VectorVest fastest growing stocks portfolio seeks the best combination of growth and rising price persistence. So that's your fundamentals. And price persistence, just a nice word for technicals, right? Just a different word for technicals. So it's looking at best combination of fundamentals and technicals year in and year out. The stocks are given enough room to run while ensuring prudent risk and money management rules are in place. No more than 2 stocks in any given industry are ever held to ensure diversification. All right, and so again, you can read the VectorVest essays. It's in the system, and I give you a reference date there back in 2020 where you can go and read up about it. And so I have a look here and I go, well, that looks pretty impressive. And so over the last year, it's done 24%. Yep, I like the look of that. Lift the lid, ta-da, and there are all the stocks. And so you can then drill in and have a look. So I've shown you 2 different ways you can find your top quality stocks. Once you establish it's time to consider going into the market, so once you get that signal on the market timing graph, then you can either come into Stock Viewer. You can begin your analysis with the best combinations of fundamentals, technicals, and work your way through and pick out the key ones that jump out to you. If you don't want to do that, you can simply go to Trading System Viewer, cherry pick out the trading systems that jump out to you, lift the lid, see what's being held, and from there you can then decide if that's the type of system that works for you. Now, just one last thing before we wrap up today. You'll see here on the right up here I'd mentioned, go and have a look at the VectorVest views. For example, on the 15th of November 2019 and the 21st of January 2020. So if I go and look at the 15th of November 2019, what I could do, where do I find that? Views, and in here we've got this one here called Essay Viewer. And so you can go back over the time period and you can go and have a look. So if I go back to see how far back I can go, 2019. When was it? Was it? That's 2018. I think it was November. Was it? Let's just double check. What date did I write it in again? Trading System Viewer. Just load that up. What was the date? 15th of November 2019. All right. So 15 November 2019. There we are. Gold is for an essay as such. And so you can read up about it. Australia's hottest growth stocks. And so again, you can read through this and you can see exactly, there's even a video put together on how this was derived. All right, so if you have a look, go back to the Trading System Viewer, bearing in mind that this was built in 2019, it was set in stone thereafter. And so there we kind of released it. When was it? Towards the end, so around about here. You can see how it's grown since. So, it's not that we're going with the power of hindsight and backfitting this to make it look good. This is when we released it. It was set into the system and then it was left at that point. So it's gone from about 200% as of that time with the back testing all the way up to nearly 1,000% and climbing. So it's gone up nearly 5 times. All right, so I'll wrap it up there. So much power with VectorVest. You can make it really easy. Just work out when's the time to go in, check out some of the hottest performing systems, or hop along to StockViewer, look at the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals, and away you go. Hope you got a lot out of this short presentation. Don't forget, same time, same place next week. I look forward to seeing you then. Bring along your questions too. I'll just transition across to the screen and leave it there. Bring along your questions as well. We look forward to chatting to you at the next session, should I say. All right, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.